Hey, what's up, Alliance? This is Screwfunk. I just wanted to throw together a quick little video about creation and the catacombs and using creation in order to do some pretty heavy-duty resource mining. Um, After growing my creation and getting him through some of the top tier levels and whatnot, I started noticing that some of the returns that you could get on the RSS was pretty substantial, and quickly found out that um, it gets you more resources than just about any other single thing in the game. So I wanted to share with you some of my experience and how I got to, you know, figuring it out and the best approach to it, and just basically how I've done it, but not necessarily the absolute best approach. So anybody can chime in and tell me what you think. So there's a couple things that you're call them prerequisites or what have you, whatever you want to call them, but a couple things that you want to focus on when farming with your creation is first and foremost, you want to have a pretty good VIP level. I'm sitting at VIP level 8, and I'll tell you why. Um, the objective to, effectively farming with your creation is you want to be able to, each session that you have in the catacombs, you want to be able to pull as many coins out of the catacombs as you possibly can. That's your biggest objective, because then you get to spend those coins on any number of things, but for me, mainly I use it for resources: food, iron, silver, wood. I don't usually use it for wood that often, but I do use it quite a bit for iron and silver and quite a bit of food. Um, but like I said, the main objective is to be able to, go through the catacombs as quickly as possible and to be able to pull as many coins as you possibly can. So starting with that, one of the things that you want to focus on is you want your creation to have a large satchel capacity. So let's look at some of the buffs that VIP offers. So for VIP 8, satchel slots, not important to me whatsoever. Don't focus on satchel slots. That gives you extra compartments within the satchel, but that's not really that important. Health potion, as you gain, as you're looking to gain experience, ultimately you want your creation to hit at least floor 55. By hitting floor 55, I will show you this obviously as we go through it, but when you hit floor 55, it opens up the top tier of the things that you can buy with those coins that you've earned from going through the catacombs. So moving along here, um, health potions absolutely help you get to that point. Catacombs cooldown, how quickly your catacombs, how often you'll be able to go back into the catacombs. I think mine is something like a day and a half. Creation skills, we'll get into that here in a minute, but any extra skill points that you have will be great. But this is the big one: satchel capacity. You want to be able to hold more weight inside your satchel. So as you move along, you'll hear in this tutorial we're going to be focusing quite a bit on this in the beginning. Stamina potion, that gets you moving along. That allows you to take more steps throughout the catacombs. You'll be able to make more moves and thus be able to have more potential to make more coins. But those are the major ones. But here's some of the other ones that are actually a really great plus. Creation battle skip. When you first start fighting with your creation and you run into a monster, you have to fight the darn thing, and the thing takes forever. It's just really slow, and this gives you the opportunity to skip the whole fight altogether and just use your basic skills that your creation has and lets you move along from there. It's very fast. Creation room select, it's kind of handy if you're moving around. The little map in the top corner, there's the little boxes. You could actually touch those boxes and you can instantly transport your creation to one of those boxes. However, your creation would have to already have been in that space at one point. Well, I'm not going to really demonstrate that, but it's kind of self-explanatory. Great perk is your battle speeds. So instead of the monster swinging at you really slow and you really slowly swing it back at them and it's boring you to death, and it's the main reason why most people just don't ever upgrade their creation, is because the process is grueling, slow, and boring, and nobody wants to do that. This makes the fight go by much, much faster. However, this one right here is called Plunder, Medium Catacombs Plunder. What this allows me to do, and what you will be seeing in the demonstration to come, is I can plunder each floor. And what that basically means is, say the floor has, let's see, I think it has 12 steps for every floor. It will use 12 stamina, and it will hit every single tile on that floor, kill everything on the floor, and take whatever that floor has to offer. And then you get it in a chest at the end. You fly through the catacombs when you do this. That's what you want to see. So that's a big one. So your VIP, very important to get those buffs. Never ever ever go into or start a catacomb session until you have your VIP active. Don't ever go in without it active, because if you go into it when it's inactive, some of those buffs you won't get. Even if you step back out and activate it and forget it, you won't get the extra health potions. You won't get the extra stamina potions, at least not from what I've seen. So you want to boost your VIP, and you want to make sure it's active before you go in. Well, one way that you can boost your VIP is you can buy and redeem crystals from the crystal mines. Another really amazing thing that I'm sure we'll do another video on. But you can actually buy VIP points with your crystals and keep boosting your VIP that way. It's one great way to do it. So that's one really big prerequisite. Let me go ahead and get this before it disappears on me. Another big one that you want to focus on is research. So let's take a quick look at research here. You have creation research. You can see here I focused a lot of energy again. Let's focus on satchel capacity. I'm 15 of 30. That gives me an additional 225 coins that I could pick up during a session. And I just keep pumping this thing as I can. Then you want to also work collectively, so you can, work on satchel capacity, do a little bit of defense, do a little bit of health, do a little bit of attack. But you can see my strategy has been to work on mainly my defense, and you'll see why here in a minute. But definitely let's not forget about, researching for creation stats. Now let's move on to the creation itself. Now, obviously it's going to take a while for you guys to get to some of these, but we're going to explain some of this and why these are important, and a good path to get to that point where you can get to floor 55. I'm going to first, let's take a look at creation skills. As you advance and as your creation gains experience, you automatically start gaining some of these tier skills. And let's just take a quick look. So I get to a certain level, and now I have an additional 25 stamina. I get to another level, and Oh, look, it gave me 5 strength. And so as you level your creation, it'll automatically give you some permanent buffs to his statistics. You can even get some satchel capacity. You can see where I'm going with this. You wanna keep, giving your creation experience so that you can start getting some of these buffs. That's one thing. The other big one, okay, this is where it really starts getting fun. As you gain levels, as your creation starts gaining levels, you'll also start occurring talent points. This is pretty important. You can see mine are kind of spread out between explosive, brutal, and warrior, and we'll come back to that. What I'm going to suggest when you're starting out, the strategy that I took is that as you go through the catacombs and as you start collecting coins, and it's a time-consuming process because you only get a certain amount of tries per day, and it takes another day and a half to get back in. But as you get going, it gets faster and faster, and you start gaining more. But the strategy that I would suggest is blow through the catacombs, take as many coins out of it as you can, and spend every last coin that you've got. When you go to the catacombs, you can go to the catacombs trader, spend every coin that you got on creation experience up until your creation hits level 35. 35 will start, I can't really show it here, but 35 will start opening up higher tiers. I just skip all the green gear altogether. I never used it. I just kept boosting his level up until he can hit floor. And I'm sorry, I have to I have to rewind a little bit. I said that you're going to have to boost his experience until your creation is level 35. I misspoke. You want your creation to hit floor 35. So you want to keep spending money on your experience until your creation can hit floor 35. Once your creation can hit floor 35, it opens up more things that you can purchase inside the Catacombs Trader store. I never bought any of the green stuff. I just blew past it. Once you hit floor 35, you can start getting some blue gear. Now, to understand the different types of blue gear, you can see there's 3 different sets of blue gear. You have Savage, you have Gallant, and then you have Heat Seeker. Well, to understand what all this means, we need to go back to the talent tree. There's 3 major paths that you can go and create for your creation. You can go the brutal path, and as you go through, I'm not going to explain every last piece of it, but each path has their own unique pros and cons of what it can actually have your creation do. Brutal is more of a mix, from what I've seen, is a mix between a straight up fighter and a defender. Warrior is more focused on defense, and explosive is less focused on defense but more focused on attack. For our intent purposes, for what we're going to be doing, you guys are going to be focusing on the warrior path. Okay, don't necessarily follow what you see here. I'll explain this in a second, but you understand that there's 3 different paths that you can take, and you can have a mix and a match of the 3 paths, but spend all of your points on the warrior path at first. And the path that you're going to want to take is you're going to want to take the warrior health, satchel capacity, warrior defense, warrior attack, and then everything from that point you're going to want to spend on the top row. So you're going to want to go this way. You're going to obviously have to go, this is your only option. Then you're going to want to spend it on these, and then your only option here, and just so forth and so on. You're going to keep wanting, don't spend it on any of these yet. Just keep going here. And this is where you're going to want to spend your points. This is going to give you your best chance of being able to break through the higher floors. I know this is a lot to take in at first, but you'll understand how this all fits together here in a moment. So back to your options for your catacomb trader. Let's go ahead and look at the designs again. Again, completely skip the greens. They're useless. Don't spend your time or money on them. So now we understand we have Savage, we have Gallant, and then we have Heat Seeker. Those are your blue designs. Well, you'll see the same pattern here with your purples. You'll have a Wild, Protector, and Scarlet. So you may have picked up that this set is for Brutal. So the very first set is Brutal. The second set is Warrior. And the third set is, I forgot what it was, I don't know, Attacker or whatever the hell it's called. But it follows that same pattern. You have the Brutal, the Warrior, and then the last part of the set would be, again, like I said, I forgot the name of it. And then you get into your orange gear. Same thing. Brutal, Warrior, and then the last one. What I would suggest is getting your creation up to at least floor 35 after you start, and as you get him up in levels, you're also spending your talent points in your talent tree, and you get up to your blue levels, your blue level of gears, and these will become unlocked. So you're going to want to start buying the Gallant gear. I like to go defense, right? So you're going to want to spend a little bit on defense, but now we can start talking sockets, okay? But we'll get that in a second. So, usually by the time you're up here, you're getting enough coins where you can buy a piece of gear and the materials that it takes in order to purchase that gear. And so forth and so on. And as by this point, you should kind of understand how going through and buying new gear kind of gets you to push forward further and further into the catacombs. But the one big thing that really, really boosts you more than anything is crests. So let me show you very quickly. I don't want to make this too detailed, but let me show you very quickly how the crests work. So we have a design here. Let's say I have a pair of I've got the Gallant breastplate design. Here you or let's use boots as a better example. Show you one that has a little bit better color here. You can see the colors of these sockets coincide with crests. So if I were to build this battle axe, I can then put crests inside of these sockets. So you want to gear up, and once you gear up, you want to start spending your money on crests. So let's take a look at the green crests. The green crest, this gives you a +3 attack, parry damage. Parry damage is when they hit you, it automatically hits them back for some damage. One of my favorites, Steadfast. Defense, 17. Doesn't seem like a lot, and at first it's not a lot. However, you also have refining crests. So just to give you guys an idea of what those can actually do, you saw here, let me take a look really quick. So yellow, the Steadfast crest at level 1 only gives you +17 defense, okay? Well, let's take a look at some of the crests that I have. Here's some level 5 crests that I've upgraded by constantly buying, these here, the refining crests, which you can buy in the store. They have different levels that obviously boost you higher. This one gives you a 10% boost. But I can go here, I can click on that. That is a huge difference between plus 17. These right here are going to be what you're going to use to get to the higher levels. So the better gear that you have allows you more crests. The more crests that you have gives you big boosts. And obviously, the more money you get every time you make a run, you can get more of these refining crests to boost your crest to the point, and you see how this kind of all fits together now. It gets you up to floor 55. The significance, obviously, of floor 55 is that everything is unlocked to include the top tier resources. Let's take a quick look at these. And all the boring stuff will be over here in a second, and I'll actually make a run and I'll plunder. Just to give you guys an idea, if I were to plunder those and get, let's say, 1,000 coins, I can buy all of the food out here completely, and that will give me roughly 7 million, 8 million food in just this one run. 1.5 million iron, about 385,000 silver in a run in about a day and a half. So we're talking nearly 8 million food, 1.5 million silver, and 385,000 silver. I'm sorry, I misspoke. 1.5 million iron and 385,000 silver. That's the end goal. You hit floor 55, you're making a ton of cash. You come in here, you just blow out the resources every day and a half. It's crazy. Once I got to floor 55, kind of the end game strategy is I began to respec my talent points. So that's why you see how I've got my points spread out here. So once I got my creation strong enough to hit floor 55, I didn't need to have him boosted all the way up to warrior health and super parry damage and everything like that. I went ahead and reset my points because now my focus is I want to plunder these mines and I want to make as many coins as I possibly can. So I respent on health, satchel capacity, went to explosive, health, satchel capacity. Look at this. Just doing that gave me another 125. And then warrior, I went back to the same path. Health, satchel capacity, and then I followed the top line again. Okay? So one last look. With all of my buffs, with every point spent, my satchel capacity is currently 1,200 coins. You can do a lot of damage with 1,200 coins in one run. Let's take a look, just so that we can see what some of this. So let's take a look at resources. That's 7 coins, and that buys me 180,000 food just with buying it once. 180,000 food buying at once. I have 1,200 coins, and I can buy up to 25 in this one run. You guys kind of get the picture how this adds up. So enough of the boring shit. I'm going to make a run. You guys get to see what plundering looks like. You get to see how quickly you can run through. One last thing I want to add. I'm running on an emulator right now on my PC, so you probably see my mouse moving around. It's not as smooth as being able to touch the screen, so this might look a little wonky, but anyway, let's get to it. So let's go ahead and explore, and I'm going to go ahead and explore, start my plundering at floor 41. Alright, so I'm in, my VIP was on. With my VIP on, look, I have a total weight of 1,200. I've got a bunch of stamina here. I have more stamina potions. I'll never use this many. I don't care about health anymore. All I care about is plundering. You'll see here in a second. So I could walk through the floors if I really wanted to, just like you typically would. Let me show you what the different speeds help. So here's speed 1, right? Man, it's so slow. Oh my god, right? I can pick up the chest here. Here's speed 2, quite a bit faster, right? That's all from VIP. Okay, let me see if I can find another monster. Well, I can't find him, but I want to quickly teleport here. So all I got to do is click on the box, and now I'm teleported there. So, okay. So let's go ahead and put that on 4. Okay? Now you guys, I'll show you this here in a second, but let's see what speed 4 looks like. Just blasts through it. Makes it a lot less boring. Or I can have this last option. Instead of clicking here to start, I can just click this. It skips the battle altogether, and if I have enough strength, it'll just blow right past him. Okay? So that's how that works. Or the meat and potatoes, they really fly through this stuff, plundering. I can click on this little lightning arrow here. I can click plunder. It'll hit all of the tiles in the whole floor and tell me what's left over. I confirm I just grabbed 70. Go to the next floor. Plunder. Hits all the floors, collects everything in there. Confirm. Go to the next floor. So I don't think I need to keep repeating that. I think you guys get the point. I'm going to keep plundering all the way down until my satchel is full. Okay, you also beat other monsters. This one beat me because, again, I'm respect for just grabbing cash. So it's just go, go, go. And I mean, you guys see I'm blowing right through this stuff. And it's going to get me all the way down to floor 51. I think I might have a full satchel by then. Or not. Next floor. Okay, so floor 51, I'm not able to plunder it because I have to get past floor 61, I believe, in order to make the 50th floor and below plunderable, if that's even a word. So I'm going to go ahead and just blast through these, collect the chest. Let me see where I'm at right now. So 1014. So I've almost filled my satchel in a matter of, a matter of a minute or two. And if I wasn't demonstrating this, I would have already blown through all this. But I just want to fill my satchel up real quick, and then this Guardian. Oh, one other really, really interesting thing to note. The Guardian is always, always, always 6 steps away from where you started on every floor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this kind of helps you determine so that you can save stamina and you're not walking all over really stupid places. So if I were to walk up there and I know that it was there, there's no point for me to go up there because I know it's not 6 steps away and it's a dead end. So as you get used to this and better at it, it becomes easier to find your way to the Guardian. Go to the next floor. Get rid of this guy. I'm getting close to my filled satchel. Then I can get to the real meat and potatoes and start spending some money and show you guys kind of what we're working with here. I'm just going to go in here because I want to be able to get the money here. Where am I sitting at right now? We're pretty close. I mean, I'm on floor 52 and like these guys aren't even touching me yet. Guardian battle. Yeah, see, I mean, my health hasn't even gone down yet. Alright, so now I have the option. This obviously too many coins, it's putting me on the overflow, so I can, well, typically it lets me, what am I sitting at? 171. Let's just discard a few. Ooh, I don't want to discard that many. Let's discard that. Grab this. Pick up. Dang it. For the sake of saving time, I'm probably only going to just grab a couple more so that I can move on with the video. Let's see. That's close enough, guys. Alright, so I'm going to step out. And then I'm going to go ahead and do a creation recall. I'm going to buy that. And he's going to now step out of the mines. I'm going to see that my creation has finished exploring. I've got lots of coins. So let's start getting some resources. Alright, man. So what I like to go for, because the level of castle that I'm at, the stuff that I really need the most is obviously iron and silver. Wood, I don't even, dude, wood comes so easy, I don't even mess with it. Food, I can always get in other ways, but obviously the hard ones to get, silver. Iron. Look at that. 2,000 iron by 420. Let's get some silver here. 250 by 440. Iron. 1,000 by 21. Let's get some more silver here. 150 by 360. Iron. 600 by 390. $200 by 390. And look, guys, I mean, I've got 23 coins left over. I can buy some food if I want. Let's go ahead. I can buy 3 bags of food. 10,000 by 54. So hopefully that helps you guys out. I mean, you can't go wrong here. That's the absolute best way to do it. If you guys have better suggestions or anything like that, that's why we're here. Let's go ahead and talk about it. But I just wanted to give you guys a quick video. Not so quick, it was at 32 minutes, but it's pretty thorough. The next one I think we're probably going to want to talk about is the crystal mines. Another really, really big resource grab. Plus it allows you, just as a little thing here, is raw hope gemstones. Those are huge, guys. Those are big, big, big. You need to spend time on those. You can level those up as well. Look at this. 30%, 30%, 30%, 30%. Let's take a look at the axe. Look at this. I got these on up to level 5. 30, 30, 30. Nuts. Okay? So, alright. Well, I hope you guys learned something. Have fun. Screw Funk out.